Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into a topic that's super important these days, two-factor authentication.
It's everywhere now.
Yeah, 2FA, that extra layer of security.
It's essential.
Yeah, popping up all over the place. We're going to be looking at an article from the UltaHost blog. It's called, What is Two-Factor Authentication? Why is it used?
Perfect title. Right to the point.
Yeah. So I think a lot of us have seen 2FA. We kind of know what it is, but could you just break it down? Like, what exactly is it and how does it actually work?
Yeah. So basically 2FA, it adds an extra layer of verification on top of your accounts.
Okay.
So think of it like instead of just relying on something, like your password, you also got to prove it's you using like something you have or something.
Okay. So it's not just what's in your head.
Right.
It's like a physical thing or something.
Exactly.
Right.
Like something unique to you.
So the article talks about these like three different things: knowledge, possession, and inherence. Can you explain what those are?
Yeah, for sure. So knowledge factors are like the classic ones: passwords, PINs, security questions, things only you should know.
Got it.
Right. Then possession factors, that's something you actually have.
Okay.
Like your phone, a security token, maybe even a special app.
Okay.
And then inherence, that's where it gets kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's using something unique about you.
Like a fingerprint.
Exactly. Your fingerprint, your face, even your voice sometimes.
So 2FA basically combines at least two of these, right?
Yep. At least two.
To make it like way harder to get in?
Exactly. Like a super strong barrier.
Okay, like, I don't know, a combination lock.
Hmm.
You need the numbers and the key.
Perfect analogy. That's it.
Okay.
Makes it way harder for hackers, even if they get your password.
Oh, wow.
They still need that second thing.
That's reassuring.
Right.
So let's talk about the different types of 2FA.
Okay.
The article mentions a bunch of different methods, all with their own, pros and cons. Let's start with the one we probably see the most, SMS-based 2FA.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's gotten those texts. Yeah.
That's probably the most popular because it's simple. You get a code on your phone, you type it in, done. Easy to set up.
But I've heard there's some security issues with just relying on SMS.
You're right to be cautious.
Okay.
It's better than nothing, for sure,
Right.
but not the most secure. Like there's this thing called SIM swapping,
I've heard of that.
where a hacker tricks your phone company into like switching your number to their SIM card.
Oh, no.
And if they have your number, they get your 2FA codes.
That sounds scary. So maybe not the best for like really sensitive stuff.
Exactly. Got to weigh the risks and the convenience.
So what are some other options that are more secure?
Well, there's authenticator apps.
Okay.
Those are popular.
Yeah, I've seen those recommended.
Yeah, they generate these time-based codes that are always changing, so they're way harder to steal.
So what makes them more secure than SMS?
Well, for one, they don't use the cell networks, which can be kind of vulnerable.
Okay.
The codes are made using a secret key between your device and like the website you're logging into.
Plus a time thing, so they expire after like 30 seconds, can't be reused.
So even if someone gets a code, it's useless after a few seconds.
Exactly. And a lot of these apps, they even have push notifications instead of codes.
Oh, wow.
So you just approve the login on your phone.
So that's even easier.
Way more secure and convenient.
Okay. Do you have any examples of some good authenticator apps?
Yeah, the big ones are Google Authenticator and Authy.
Okay, I've heard of those.
You've probably seen them. They work on pretty much everything. Free and easy to use.
All right, let's talk about something that seems really futuristic: biometric authentication.
Okay.
Using your fingerprint or your face to log in. That's pretty cool.
It is cool, and it's becoming more common.
Yeah.
Phones and other devices, they all have it now.
Yeah, I've used it a few times. Yep. How secure is that compared to other methods?
So biometrics, it's this mix of security and convenience, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to remember passwords or carry anything. Just use your unique traits.
Yeah, it's like magic,
It kind of is. Scan your finger, look at your phone, and you're in.
But are there any like security risks with biometrics?
Well, like any technology, there's stuff to think about.
Okay.
The big one is, where's your biometric data stored?
Yeah.
Is it safe?
Mm-hmm.
A good system keeps that data encrypted, and ideally on your device, not on some server.
Right. We don't want our fingerprints floating around out there.
Exactly. And then there's accuracy.
Right.
Like, what if the system doesn't recognize you?
Yeah. Or someone tricks it with a fake.
Right. Spoofing attacks, that's a concern. It depends on the tech and how it's used.
Oh.
Fingerprints are usually pretty reliable, but older systems, you can sometimes trick them.
Oh, wow.
Faces are convenient, but lighting facial hair, even your expression can mess it up.
Not perfect.
No system is.
Right.
But biometrics is improving fast, so we should see it getting more secure.
That makes sense. So it's not a foolproof system.
No, but it's promising.
Okay. Let's move on to another type of 2FA that I think is really interesting, hardware tokens.
Ah, yes, the little keychains.
Yeah. I've always wondered how those actually work.
So imagine a tiny little device that makes a unique time-based code.
Okay.
Kind of like those authenticator apps.
Mm-hmm.
But the key difference is these codes are made offline.
So it's like a mini code generator you carry with you.
That's a great way to put it.
Wow.
Super secure because it's not connected to the internet. No way to hack it remotely.
So that's why they use them for like banks and stuff.
Exactly. High security places where they really need that extra protection.
But I imagine carrying all these little tokens around can be kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's a trade-off, convenience versus security, you know?
Yeah.
They're not for everyone, but for those high security situations, they're the gold standard.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've talked about a bunch of different types of 2FA.
Right. SMS, apps, biometrics, tokens.
Yeah. Now let's talk about why this is all so important.
Okay.
Like, why is 2FA becoming so essential these days?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is security. Like we said, it makes it so much harder for hackers to get into your stuff.
Yeah, that peace of mind is worth a lot.
Totally. And it's not just about your personal accounts either.
Right.
When businesses use 2FA, it shows they care about protecting their users' data.
Right.
Builds trust, makes everyone feel safer.
Okay, so it's like a good business practice.
Absolutely. And it helps reduce the risks of those big data breaches we hear about all the time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, those are scary. Are there like any stats or examples that show how well 2FA actually works?
Oh, yeah, there's tons of evidence. Google did a study and found that using a security key,
Okay.
like a hardware token, stopped 100% of attacks from bots and almost all phishing attacks, too.
100%. That's incredible.
It's really effective.
So it's clear that 2FA can really make a difference.
Huge difference.
And it's not just protecting individuals, it's making the whole internet safer.
Exactly. It creates a culture of security. Everyone benefits.
I've noticed more and more places are offering or even requiring 2FA.
It's becoming the norm.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yep.
And are there like legal or regulatory reasons for this too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of industries like finance, healthcare, government, they have rules about protecting data. And 2FA is a big part of that.
So it's not just a good idea, it's the law in some cases.
Exactly. That's why it's spreading so fast. It's just good practice all around.
That makes sense. So we've talked about why 2FA is so important, but let's be real, it's not perfect.
Of course not. No system is.
There must be some downsides or challenges.
There's some things to consider, yeah. Like convenience.
Yeah, I can see how adding extra steps to log in could be annoying.
It can be a hassle, especially if you're in a hurry or not super techie.
Right.
So finding that balance between security and user experience is key.
So how do we make 2FA easy to use without making it less secure?
Good design is really important.
Okay.
Make the setup simple, clear instructions,
Right.
offer different options so people can choose what works for them.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what about support? Like, what if someone has trouble setting it up or something goes wrong?
Yeah, you gotta have a good support. FAQs, tutorials, maybe even a helpline.
So,
Just make it easy to get help if you need it.
oh, okay. So remove all the barriers.
Exactly. Make it smooth and easy to use.
Okay. But even with the best system, people can still make mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. Human error is a big factor.
Yeah, we might click on a bad link or fall for a scam.
That's why training is so important.
Okay.
Teach people how to spot those scams, create strong passwords, protect their 2FA stuff.
So we need to be smart about what we do online.
Exactly. Think before you click,
Right.
Don't just blindly trust everything you see.
So it's not just about the technology, it's about how we use it.
Security is a shared responsibility. We all have a role to play.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground here, all the technical details of 2FA.
Different methods, pros and cons.
Yeah. But there's one more thing I want to talk about, the human factor.
Yes, the most unpredictable element.
Well, we talked about all the technical stuff, but it all comes down to people in the end.
Yeah, you can have the best tech in the world, but if people don't use it, right?
And it's useless.
Exactly. So the human element is huge.
So how do we get people to actually use 2FA, like make it a habit?
Education is key.
Okay.
We gotta explain the benefits, in plain language.
Right.
Not just tech jargon.
Yeah.
Show them how it protects their stuff, their info, their money, their social media.
That's stuff they care about.
Exactly. Make it real for them.
But even if they get it, there's still the convenience factor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We talked about that. But
Yeah.
how do we make 2FA easy to use so it's not a pain?
Good design is crucial.
Okay.
Make it simple to set up clear instructions, you know?
Right.
Give people options so they can choose what works best for them.
And what about support? Like if someone has a problem.
Oh, yeah, support is huge.
Yeah.
FAQs, tutorials, maybe even a phone line. Make it easy to get help.
So basically make it as easy as possible.
Exactly. No barriers.
But even then, people make mistakes.
Yeah, all of
Or
them.
click on bad links, fall for scams.
Yep. Happens to the best of us.
So what can we do about that?
Security awareness training is important. Teach people how to spot those phishing emails, how to make strong passwords, how to protect their 2FA.
So it's about being aware of the risks and making smart choices.
Exactly. We all have a part to play in staying safe online.
Well said. I think this deep dive has been really eye-opening. We've talked about so much.
All the different types of 2FA, the benefits, the challenges.
Yeah. And we've really gone beyond just the technical stuff.
I've talked about the human side of it too.
So to wrap things up, what are your final thoughts on 2FA? Why is it so crucial today?
2FA, it's not optional anymore. It's essential.
Yeah.
The threats are constantly evolving. You know, hackers are always trying new things.
It's scary out there.
It is. We got to protect ourselves, and our D to 2FA adds that extra layer of protection that we all need.
Yeah, it's like a safety net.
Exactly. But it's not just about the technology. It's about being smart online, being aware of the risks, making good decisions.
And there are so many different options out there.
Right. Find what works for you.
So don't be intimidated by the tech stuff.
It's easier than you think.
Explore your options, set up 2FA on your important accounts.
And tell your friends and family.
Yeah, spread the word.
Yeah.
All right, well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into two-factor authentication.
My pleasure.
Until next time, stay safe and stay curious. We've covered the tech, the benefits, the risks, but at the end of the day, it's people using this stuff.
Absolutely. Humans are part of the equation. You can't ignore that.
So where does human behavior fit into all of this?
It's a big factor. Like I said, you can have the most amazing 2FA system,
Right.
but if people don't use it, right?
It's pointless.
Exactly.
Right.
Or if they don't understand it.
So user adoption, that's the first hurdle.
For sure.
How do we get people to actually embrace 2FA and make it a regular thing?
Education is key. We need to explain the benefits in a way that makes sense to everyone.
Okay.
Not just techie talk, but real life stuff.
Right.
How does it protect your personal info, your money, your social media accounts?
Stuff that matters to people.
Exactly.
But even then, there's the convenience factor.
Yeah, that's always a challenge.
We talked about that. How do we make 2FA as painless as possible so people don't see it as a chore?
Design is super important. Make it easy to set up,
Okay.
clear instructions, you know?
Yeah.
Give people options so they can find what works for them.
What about support? What if people have problems or questions?
Support is crucial. FAQs, tutorials, a helpline.
Okay.
Make it easy to get help.
So remove the barriers, make it easy.
Deck.
But even with all that, people can still make mistakes.
Oh yeah, human error is inevitable.
We click on bad links, we fall for phishing scams.
It happens. We're all human.
So how do we address that?
Security awareness training.
Okay.
Teach people how to recognize those scams, how to create strong passwords, how to protect their 2FA credentials.
So it's about being smart and careful online.
Being aware of the risks, making good decisions.
It's not just about the tech, it's about how we use it.
Right. Security is a shared responsibility. We all need to do our part.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This has been a fantastic deep dive. We really went deep on this one.
We covered a lot of ground.
All the different types of 2FA, the benefits, the challenges, the human element.
Everything.
So as we wrap up, what are your final thoughts on 2FA? Why is it so critical in this digital world we live in?
2FA is not optional anymore. It's a necessity. The threats are real. Hackers are getting more sophisticated.
Yeah, it's a scary world out there.
It can be. We
Yeah.
need to protect ourselves. Our data, our privacy 2FA is a powerful tool to do that.
It's like an extra layer of armor.
Exactly. But it's not just about the tech. It's about being aware of the risks, making smart choices online.
And luckily, there's so many options out there.
Find what works for you.
Don't be afraid of the tech. Explore the different methods, set up 2FA on your important accounts, tell your friends and family.
Spread the word.
Well said. This has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into two-factor authentication.
My pleasure.
Until next time, everyone, stay safe and stay curious.